Nigeria and China have again reaffirmed their commitment to bilateral relations during a high-profile meeting in Abuja between Ambassador Yusuf Tuga and his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi. The discussion centered on key areas such as trade, infrastructure development, and strategic partnerships, with attention on the pivotal role Nigeria and China relations will play in shaping Africa's economic landscape. Nigeria emphasized its readiness to strengthen cooperation with China as it expands its influence across the African continent with loans and infrastructure investments. Ambassador Yusuf Tuga emphasized the significance of the 4 memorandum of understanding signed by President Bola Tinubu during his visit to China in September last year, which are currently at various stages of implementation.
Avenues to deepen our bilateral engagement, particularly in areas such as trade facilitation, capacity building, and people-to-people exchanges. The almost intuitive nature of Nigeria's diplomatic relationship and continuous collaboration with China has been devoid of disputes, bringing about substantial benefits to both countries. You will recall that His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu paid a state visit to China from the 3rd to the 4th of September 2024 and was received by his Chinese counterpart, during which 4 MOUs were signed. Nigeria reaffirms its commitment to the terms of the MOUs, which are currently at various stages of implementation.
As you work for Africa's peace and development, Nigeria plays an irreplaceable and important role. China has all along viewed and developed relations with Nigeria from a strategic height and a long-term perspective, hoping to further our solidarity and cooperation. We will continue to understand and support each other on issues concerning our respective core interests.
TVC correspondent Uloma Yemachi was at that meeting. She joins me live from our studio in Abuja. Uloma, what specific benefits do you think Nigerians can expect from this renewed collaboration between both countries?
Well, Nifemi, Nigeria and China have always had relations, for a very long time. Nigeria and China have always talked about deepening their relations. This visit is an annual visit, according to the Chinese minister. So we have always had Chinese foreign ministers visit Nigeria every year, and this year is no different. China has had a great impact on Nigeria's economy. We have seen, Nigeria borrow from China up to billions of US dollars. We've seen Nigerian businesses thrive in China as well, as Nigeria, where China businesses are centered here in Abuja and across Nigeria. So this visit is aimed at deepening those ties. More conversations, will come up to ask questions as to what more can they do in terms of infrastructure, in terms of polity, in terms of, cultural integration. So this visit is just to solidify the conversations that have been ongoing between Nigeria and China.
Ambassador Tuga also highlighted the 4 memoranda of understanding Mr. President signed in China last year, September. What more do we know about the progress of implementation in this regard?
According to Ambassador Tuga, the implementation phase is still on, but I'm just going to give you a list of the 4 MOUs that were signed by, President Tinubu in China on 3rd September 2024, and they were centered on cooperation plan between Nigeria and China on jointly promoting the Belt and Road Initiative. We also had an MOU on peaceful application of nuclear energy. We had one on human resource development, where we're talking about human services across Nigeria and China, and also one on media exchange and cooperation. So these MOUs are all in its implementation phase, and from the titles, there are things that we have already been seeing. We have seen Chinese media report on Nigerian stories, vice versa. So the conversation is still ongoing. We are looking at short-term and long-term impacts, but that is something that the Nigerian media will continue to monitor.
Some have termed Chinese intervention as part of the ongoing news scramble for Africa. But the foreign minister's visit is coming a few days before Donald Trump's inauguration in America. What are the dynamics, especially the conversations you're hearing behind the camera as regards the China's increasing influence on the continent?
Nigeria, as I stated before, has always had relations with foreign countries, not just China. So we've seen them talk to France. We've seen them recently. The German president also visited Nigeria. So it's not per se coincidence with the inauguration of Donald Trump, because that's coming up towards the end of January, I believe January 20th. So it's just a forerunner to solidify China's impact on Nigeria's economy, and it just extends beyond Nigeria. They are planning to share their, activities across African countries. So we're just expecting, I don't know, we are just expecting like a tussle among the world economies, because there are a lot of conversations that Trump has been bringing up on some of the things that he would do, including, taking Canada as a U.S. state as well. So all these world bodies are just trying to, solidify their grounds. China coming to Nigeria does not stop U.S. from also still sending delegates to Nigeria. So it's just a conversation that will be ongoing. Every country is sovereign. So whatever comes up is the decision of the country and the president to make.
Well, I guess time will tell how the Trump presidency will impact on trade dispute between U.S. and China, and what that means for China's relation with the continent. Olomoye Machi live for us in Abuja. Thank you for the updates there.